what we're going to do when Donald Trump, who believes in want to make America great again, believes in saying the pledge. He always likes to have the Pledge of Allegiance said at every one of his functions. So, if you're a veteran like myself, a retired Marine, you could salute, and please stand as we get ready to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Hoorah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you, everybody. So nice. So amazing. So amazing. So amazing. And by the way, do we love Tom Brady? Do we love Tom? Right? Love Tom Brady. A great guy. He's a great guy. Great guy and a great winner. And I'll tell you, you're lucky to have him. You're lucky to have him. So we're going to talk for a long time. And, you know, sadly, there are about 3,000 people outside. They're coming in now. How about waiting about an hour till they get in? Good idea? No. So we'll just say they were late. It's their problem. Here's my great friend, my great veteran friend. Are you okay? Everything good? Good. Good. We're going to take care of our veterans. I want to tell you that. Big league, right? Big league. Big league. So, a few things. We just came down, and I just heard Massachusetts. You know, they keep saying, the press, look at all those guys back there with all those live cameras. All the time. Boo, boo. But, well, actually about 30% of them are good, though. I think 30%. Maybe 25. Maybe 20. But, you know, the Massachusetts poll, listen to this one, 48% for Trump, 9% for somebody else. You know, when I used to do this, they'd come out and they'd say, I started. And my wife said, you know if you run, you're going to win. I said, why do you say that? Because people want to see good things happen. And you know, so, you know, hey, that's a good thing. That's a smart thing for a wife to say, right? I don't know if she meant it or not, but it's very smart. But she said, you're going to win. So anyway, I started off, and I started at 3, and it went to 6, and it went to 9, and it went to 16. And every time it went up, these talking heads on the different shows, they'd say, well, you know, he's plateaued. He's plateaued. Well, you know, at 48, I hope I plateaued. I want that. I want to plateau. It's been an amazing period. And I'll tell you what, this has been a movement. This isn't like a normal, and look at the people pouring in. This has been a movement. No matter where I go, and I don't even know if it's for me. It's for me, I guess, a little bit. It's for the message. We want to win again. We want to win. We want to win. So, just 2 minutes ago, Fox. We like Fox, right? They came out with their poll, and it's brand new, so I'll give it to you. Trump, 27. Rubio, second place, 13. Carson, 9. He's going down. He's going down. You've got to know about foreign policy. You've got to know. Got to know. Got to study. Got to be able to get that stuff, right? But, and you know, when you think of Rubio, you know, for a nice guy, stood next to me the other day at the debate. Nice, very nice. Made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. And he's got the worst voting record in the United States Senate. I'll tell you what, if I were from Florida, I'd be very angry. So today he's in California fundraising, and they have voting, and it's sort of interesting because it's a vote on and it's really more than, almost more important, they're getting ready for homeland security issues and votes. And he's in California. What's he doing? He's raising money. Always money with these politicians. Money, money, money. I'm self-funding my own campaign. I don't have to raise any money. I'm not going to raise any money. You know, it's very interesting, very, very interesting. I said to somebody the other day, I was in Iowa. I said, what do you think is going to respond? So I had this great group of people. And I said, you know, I feel it's just not my thing. I want to go and I want to make, can I take millions and millions of dollars as being offered to me all the time? I could make Jeb Bush's fund look like peanuts. I mean, think of it. Guys offering me anything. You know, these super PACs are a big scam. You know that. It's a big scam. And the super PACs, they control all the candidates. And the people that give the super PACs money totally control the candidates. And I disavowed all super PACs. You know, we sent out letters. I had like 9 or 11. All these, everybody was setting up a Trump super PAC, and probably 25% were legit, and the other 75% wanted to take the money, and who the hell knows what they do with it. They live very nicely. But we disavowed. We disavowed. We don't want super PACs. We don't want it. We don't want it. And I said to the folks, and it was to me very important, but I said to the folks in Iowa, okay, let's have a deal. We can do the following, and it's so important to me. I'll take millions and millions of dollars. It'll come in like by the droves, and I promise it won't affect me. Can I do it? And they went nuts. No, because they're smart. They said, you can't do it. Because we all know that when somebody like me, I used to give fortunes. I was like the fair-haired boy. I give all these lobbyists that are giving the money. I know many of them. When they give 5 million, 2 million, 1 million, 10 million, believe me, they have total control over their little politician. Total control. And they don't care about the country. Some of them represent other countries. Some of them represent businesses from other countries that want to do business in the United States. They don't care about the country. They want to get their client the right vote. So you have special interests, you have lobbyists, you have donors. They have total control over these people that are running for office, and nobody knows it better than me, because I've been there. And, you know, it's sort of funny. I've been there. Like nobody's been there like I have. And I was totally establishment. Can you believe it? They'd come to my office, $250,000 to the Republican Governors Association, $100,000 shortly thereafter, again, to the Republican Governors Association. Millions of dollars you spend. And, you know, when you call, they treat you so nicely. They treat you so nicely. So when you see negative stuff, and I'll match it, but wait till you see what I do. You're going to be so proud of me. It's going to be so vicious. Going to be so vicious. Because right now, and in one way, I hate saying it, but in another way, it's smart. So far, I've spent less money than anybody else, and I have the best result. Right? Right? Now, in one way, people said, well, we'd like you to spend more money. The press says it all the time. When are you going to start spending money? I haven't had to. You know, you're leading in every single poll, national. Now Iowa just came out. I'm leading in Iowa, leading really big in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's unbelievable. Big. Leading in South Carolina, the first 3. Leading in Nevada. Nevada came out today. Leading in Nevada. Leading with Hispanics in Nevada. I've been saying that. I've been saying that. Leading with African Americans at a point at which nobody's ever gotten the numbers, 25%. Somebody said, if you got 25% of the African American vote as a Republican, don't forget, I'm a Republican. If you got 25%, the election's over. It's over. And then they came out with polls today, North Carolina, South Carolina, other places against Hillary. We're killing Hillary in all these states. Killing her. Crazy. So let's talk a little bit about our country. We're just going to have fun. And those poor people, by the time we're finished, they're going to be in. They're going to hear probably the final sentence, which will be, "Make America Great Again." Right? That's what it will be. So I was so focused on trade, because thank you, darling. I love you too, darling. Look at her, how beautiful. I love her. So nice, thank you, thank you. I was so focused on trade for the last number of months and doing great on trade because, you know, we're being ripped off by every country that we do business with because we have the worst negotiators. All you have to do is look at the Iran deal that was just signed. Look at this deal. But one of your own got it done. Kerry. He did not read The Art of the Deal, I can tell you. So Kerry goes out, makes one of the worst deals that I've ever seen of any kind. Forget about nations, one of the worst deals. $150 billion going to Iran, right? How about the self-policing aspect? Is that good? They're going to self-police. The other form of policing is 24 days, which takes a long time before you even get there. So they have like an infinite number of days before you can inspect. And what about our prisoners? We have 4 prisoners, $150 billion, and we don't get our prisoners back. And they didn't want to do it. Think of it. They didn't want to do it because they said, we don't want to complicate the negotiation. Can you believe this? And all you had to do is say at the beginning, which, by the way, this thing has taken forever. You say at the beginning, we want our prisoners back before we start. We want them back. You don't need them. We want them. It's going to set a good tone, right? It's going to set a good tone. You'll end up making a better deal. Give us our prisoners back. You don't need them. You don't want them. Your people don't even know you have them. And we didn't ask. I guarantee you that if I were negotiating that deal, even as Secretary of State, I guarantee within a very short period of time you'd have them. Because of the fact that I would have left the room if they said no, which they probably would have. I would have doubled up the sanctions, and within 3 days they would have called and said, we have your prisoners here, would you like them? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I've been so involved with trade because, you know, when you have a trade imbalance with China of almost $500 billion a year, think of that. And somebody the other day, very smart people, I met with some smart people, I'm not going to say who because it would be embarrassing, I think, to them. They said, but you don't believe in free trade. I said, we got an imbalance of $500 billion with China. We have an imbalance of $70 billion a year with Japan. We have an imbalance of $45 billion a year with Mexico. We will build a wall. Believe me. Believe me. We will build a wall. And it'll be a great wall. You know, I've been talking about the wall for a long time. We're going to build it. It's going to be really a real wall. It's going to be a wall that's going to be way up there. Wow. It's going to be strong. It's going to be powerful. It's going to look good. As good as a wall can look. And it's going to be They are so misguided, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. So we're going to build the wall. It's going to be a great wall, and it's going to be paid for by Mexico. Believe me, 100%. 100%. We're not paying for it. Mexico's paying for it. Believe me. Now, a lot of times when I'm on the stage with these guys that I'm running against, some are nice guys. Hey, look, Perry was very vicious. He was always very nice to me. And everybody so far that's attacked me has gone down. They've gone down badly. You remember Perry attacked me. He was at 5. He went to 0. He got out. Walker attacked me very viciously, and he got out. I mean, it was, think of what I could do for the United States. Somebody attacks, ooh, they go down. Bobby Jindal, nice guy. He was vicious to me. I never even met him. I never met him. I was watching him last night. He said, I've decided to get out of the race. Oh, that was good. So one by one, step by step, we're getting there, and we're going to turn this thing around so fast. So fast. We're going to turn it around so fast. You're going to be so proud of the job I do. You're going to be so proud of yourselves. You're going to be so proud. We're going to win so much. We're going to win so much. We're going to have a military that's going to be so strong and so powerful that nobody is going to mess with us. Nobody. Nobody. Thank you. Isn't a Trump rally much more exciting than these other guys? And that kind of stuff only adds to the excitement, I tell you. It's just incredible. You know, what's happening, though, no matter where I go, I mean, it's incredible. We went the other night. No matter where we go, who, what? Oh, you can't hear? Get over here. That's terrible. That's terrible. You have lousy seats up there. You have a lousy location. In real estate, he'd go bust. Good guy, though. No, he's fine. He's good. He's good. He just can't hear. He just can't hear. Are you okay? Okay. I understand. So, and they're still coming in over there, so it's a little bit of a problem. So, all over the country, this is what's happening. This is unique, you think. But we go to Mobile, Alabama, we have 35,000 people. We go to the Mavericks Arena, right? In Dallas, you saw that. 20,000 people. We had 3 days, 4 days to fill it up. It filled up almost like in the first day. No matter where we went to Oklahoma. We had over 20,000 people. Every place in New Hampshire is packed. You know that. Where we have extra rooms set aside. It's absolutely, it's so beautiful to see. And what it is it's love in the room. It's like love. Now we'll have a couple of people that don't have so much love. That's okay. But it's love. I'll tell you truthfully, it's love in the room. So here's what we're doing. I've been talking very, very much and very strongly about trade. When I announced, it took a lot of courage to announce. I mean, you know, I've always read where if you're a very successful person, you can't run for president. You just can't. I've always heard that because you get treated very badly and very unfairly, and I understand that. So we get people that aren't successful running for president. That's not good. Because that's not the mentality we need to get rid of our debt. It's not the mentality we need to make great trade deals. It's not the mentality we need. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? But, I mean, whatever it is, I'm so proud of the fact that I've done it because it has. You remember the famous escalator scene where I come down, Melania waving very gently. I'm waving like a madman. And the press was down there. And I announced that I'm going to run in New York City at Trump Tower. I announced that I'm running for president. And in there, I talked about illegal immigration, that it's a tremendous problem in this country. And did I get hit so hard by the press? And you wouldn't even be talking about immigration and illegal immigration, I believe, if I didn't bring it up. It wouldn't be a big subject. It would not be a big subject. And it turned out to be the biggest subject. And then you have in San Francisco, beautiful Kate gets shot in the back by an illegal immigrant who's crossed the border at least 5 times and probably many more times. You have Jamil, a wonderful young man, going to college on a football scholarship already, and he gets shot in the face by a guy that just walked up to him and shot him in the face in front of his home. His father's a friend of mine. He said, his life is over. His son, the apple of his eye, the most beautiful young guy, and he's dead, viciously killed, for no reason. Illegal immigrant. You had a woman, actually, you had a veteran, 66-year-old woman, raped, sodomized, and killed 4 weeks ago in Los Angeles. And you have hundreds and thousands of other incidents. Terrible. They're taking jobs. But more importantly, I want people to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in through the system. They have to come in through the system. And the Hispanic people, because we're not only talking Hispanic, but the Hispanic people are with me like 100%, the ones that are in the country legally. They don't want their jobs taken by people that are pouring in. And Obama, we just had a great court victory. We had a victory at the lower court, and it was just upheld 2-1, where Obama's executive order that just come on in, take our country, do whatever you want, walk right by our great, and they are really terrific people. I know them. Spent a lot of time with them on the border. Our border patrols. Stand down, they're told. Stand down. They're standing there. They're tough. They're strong. They want to do their job. They're not allowed to do their job. Obama has been a disaster for this country. A disaster. And unless we get going, and unless we get smart, we're not going to have a country. You need borders to have a country. Now what's happened, you need borders. You need borders. So if I win, lots of things are going to happen. Lots of things are going to happen. Number one, with immigration, you know, we have gangs in Los Angeles and Chicago and other places where they're all illegal immigrants. These are tough dudes. They are gone before I even start the wall. They are gone. They're out of here. They're out of here. They're out of here. And I will tell you, we have some people in this country not supposed to be here. We're not putting them in our prison so that we can take care of them for the next 45 years. We're bringing them back where they came. They're never coming back in, and let their country take care of them because we're not paying the bill. So this all blends now in, because that's been one of my big points. I think trade maybe is my biggest point, because I'm so tired of seeing our country lose the jobs, lose the money, lose the base, lose everything. But right now, because of what's happening and because of what happened in Paris, I mean, think of this. Think of this. Nobody wants to say it. I'm the only one that says it. I tell the truth. You know why I tell the truth? Because, hey, if it doesn't work, it's okay. I loved my life. I'm doing something I just feel it's important. I was asked today, why are you doing it? I'm not doing it for myself. I had a really nice life. I'm going around from place to place to place. But thank you. I'm doing it because, first of all, we don't have much time left. But second of all, I honestly believe we can make our country greater than it's ever been. I really believe that. With common sense and intelligence, we can be greater than it's ever been. So what's happened on immigration is it's all blending in now with the migration. The migration is a catastrophe. And you have hundreds and thousands, you have people want to pour into all of these countries. Merkel, you have to see what's happening in Germany. They're having riots in Germany. What the hell is she thinking? What's she thinking? They're having tremendous crime where they didn't have any. They're having villages overrun. But listen, this could be the great Trojan horse of all time. Because you look at the migration, study it, look at it. Now they'll start infiltrating with women and children. But you look at that migration, and I'm looking at it, and I'm the first one to bring it up. 3 weeks ago, I'm saying, isn't that a shame? And then I said to myself, wow, they're all men. There are no men. You look at it. There are so few women, and there are so few children. And not only are they men, they're young men, and they're strong as can be. They're tough-looking cookies. I say, what's going on here? And then you look at what 5 or 6 people did in Paris, and we have to get smart. I just had a press conference. I said, we have to get smart. They said, the mastermind. The mastermind. He's scum. He's not mastermind. He's scum. He's scum. The press plays right into their hands. The press is calling the leader of the pack in Paris a mastermind. So all these kids are sitting home, even in New York and in California and in Massachusetts. Oh, the mastermind. He's not a mastermind. He's a lowlife. This is just a lowlife guy. He's a bum. He's a bum. I'll bet he doesn't have a 90 IQ. You take a look at this guy, and they're talking about he's a mastermind. I just told him at the press conference, I said, you got to stop calling these people masterminds. We have to take back the internet. There's so many things we have to do. We have a president that doesn't have a clue. We have a president that says ISIS is contained. He's contained. The only thing contained is us. We're contained because we have no leadership. But we have to take back, the internet is ours. But they've taken over the internet. They're using the internet better than we do. They're using the internet, and they're recruiting people. And then the people go out to fight for ISIS, and then we let them back into the country. We let them back in. Where have you been? I've been fighting for ISIS. Oh, come on back in. Go back home to Texas. No, how stupid are we? When they leave the country, when they go to fight for ISIS or Al-Qaeda or whoever the hell they fight, they never, ever come back into this country again. Ever. Ever. But we've got to take back the internet because they are taking people They're literally brainwashing people. They're brainwashing our youth. And they're getting it to say like, oh, this is what they want to do. We can't let that happen. We have innocent youth, and they're misguided, and they're brought along. But then they hear the press talking about these people like Robin Hood. We can't allow the press to do that. We can't allow it to happen. We have to take back our country. We have to take back our intelligence. We have to take back the internet. We can't let this happen. Recently, Jeb Bush. Recently, it's over. I don't want to waste a lot of time on him because it's over. It's over. And you know what? I think he's a nice person. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? But recently he said, Donald Trump's tone is very tough. That's what we need. We need tough tone. And I say it, we have people in the Middle East and all over having their heads cut off. James Foley, who I think was an amazing guy, I got to know his parents. They're incredible people. Their son's head was cut off. That was the beginning. They're chopping off heads. You're a Christian, they chop off your head. They chop off heads of everybody. They drown them in cages. We haven't had anything. This has never happened. Maybe the Middle Ages. Maybe medieval times. You used to read about it. You know, you used to read about medieval times. There's never been anything like this. I said, don't go into Iraq. I was right. I said, now we got to go and we got to knock the shit out of these people. We got to do it. We've got to do it. And we can do it fast, and we can do it furious. We can do it. We can do it well. We can win there again. I watched on television. I talk about it all the time. I see our generals being interviewed on television. I don't want generals interviewed on television. I want to be unpredictable. You know, we're predictable. We're predictable. I want to be unpredictable. You know, all the polls say I'd be the best at the military. I'd be the best at foreign policy. Which is interesting, because if you read the front page of the New York Times today, they said about Ben Carson that he's unable to understand foreign policy. You know, his people actually said this, that he is unable to comprehend or understand foreign policy. It was a devastating story. It's all over the place. And if you watched over the weekend, you would understand exactly what they're talking about, because it was devastating when you watched the interview. But he's unable to comprehend foreign policy. We can't do this. I think he's a nice guy, probably. Who knows? I don't care. I don't care. We need somebody that's sharp and tough and smart and can figure it out fast. Fast. I mean, we're playing games. We're playing games. The problem we have is we're playing games. We don't have the luxury of going through what we've gone through for the last 7 years with this guy. This guy was not suited to be president of the United States. He wasn't. I mean, I talked about Ben the other day, and I talked about his book. Somebody said, no, you're too tough. So I'll do it very quickly, because I went in Iowa. I talked for 15 minutes. They said, oh, that was too tough. It's not a question of being tough. He wrote a book. He said he's got pathological disease. Okay. That's a problem to me. Problem. He said he hit or tried to hit his mother over the head with a hammer. I didn't. Me? Mary McLeod? No way. I didn't. He said he tried to stab somebody, hit the belt buckle. No belt buckle stopping, because they're going to twist and turn and slide, and it's going in. If a strong guy goes like this, it's going in. It's not stopping. It might be detoured a little bit, but it's going in. He said he hit somebody, really a very good friend of his, in the face really, really hard with a padlock. Boom, in his face, did a lot of damage. And that's why they want to elect him. And he's trying to prove that he did it. And I'm saying, I think if I was him, I'd try and prove that I didn't do it. I don't get the whole deal. I don't get it. I don't get it. What are we coming to? What is the country coming to? We need sharp, we need smart, we need brilliant, we need tough. We've got to get the right guy. We need Trump. Yeah. Thank you. So then today they come out with the Times story, and you should read it. And by the way, Times and many other papers, not just the Times. It was the Times, I would say, don't believe it, maybe. But it's many papers talking about he cannot comprehend what's going on. That's bad. That's real bad. Can you imagine that if somebody goes in office and then you realize that he really cannot figure it out? We got a problem. Yeah, we have Obama. That's right. He's never figured it out. And then we have others. I mean, they're running, but they're not the right people. They're not the right people. You know, I've made a tremendous amount of money. I've built a great company. Remember when they said, he'll never run? Then I ran. Then they said, he'll never file Form A. That's basically a one-page, but basically you're signing your life away. I signed it. They're going like, oh. Then they said, oh, well, he'll never file his financials because you're given all these, you could file forever. You could take forever. You get all these delays and everything. They said, he'll ask for the longest delay. Well, I have the longest, biggest financial statement ever filed in the history of the federal elections. And I filed it ahead of schedule. No, it's true. You're given 30 days to file, and then you're giving many extensions, and everybody said, oh, he'll just keep extending, and then he'll drop out, because maybe he's not as rich as people thought. Well, I filed it, and it turned out I'm much richer, right? You see, much richer. And I don't do that, you know what, much richer. Oh, the press was devastated. They couldn't believe the numbers. They couldn't believe it. Longest statement, I think it was 98 pages, almost 100 pages. Whereas a politician, it's like one page. They did a book. They got a couple of bucks for it, but they did something. So I did this tremendous thing. What they don't know is that I didn't even know if I was going to run. Because it took, you know, when I came down, I took a deep breath. I went like this to my wife. Man, look at that down there. The press was like crazy. The whole atrium was packed with press. I said, ay, ay, ay. And I went like this. You ever do this when you have something where you're just not 100% and you're saying, oh, should I be doing this? My whole life is going to change. My family's life. And I went like this. Let's go, baby. That's what happened. That's what happened. And we went down that famous escalator. We went down that escalator and here we are. Here we are. But what they don't know is that if I didn't run, I was going to file the financials anyway because I'm so proud of them. They're so good. I was so proud of them. So it shows an unbelievable company, unbelievable assets, the most iconic Doral, buildings in Manhattan, 40 Wall Street, 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue, all over the place. The Bank of America building, a big chunk in San Francisco, one of the great buildings of the world. Many, many things. Land all over the place, on the Potomac River, on the Pacific Ocean. Very little debt. Tremendous cash flow. They said, oh, they were devastated. They were devastated. They had one guy, you have boxes, and you check it. It says 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. Actually starts with $5,000. The various boxes, 10 million, 20 million. Then they go 25 million. Then they go 50 million or more. So I have many buildings worth much more than that. So, but you check 50 million or more. So I checked the box. I didn't check. My accountants checked, right? They checked the box. Many of these, I think it's like 23 or 24 boxes, 50 million or more. So we have a couple of guys, they added up the 50s. And that was what they said my net worth is. In other words, you have a building that's worth $1.5 billion in New York City or someplace. And you put, there's no category. It's worth more than 50. So I check, boom. And I ended up with a net worth of all those boxes times X. 50 million times 23 or 24. And I said, that's so dishonest. But it didn't matter to me because the real people understood it. And then it was also reported, fortunately, fairly by some. But I would have put in the financials anyway because they turned out to be great. And the reason I talk about the financials is this. I don't care. I'm a private company. Nobody knew what it was worth because as a private company, you have guys write books about Trump. They don't know anything. They don't know what I'm worth. Now they know what I'm worth because they see this financial disclosure, which is certified and big deal. It's a big deal. Filed with the federal government. But the reason I talk about it is not braggadocious. It's simple. We need that thinking in this country. I don't care about me. We need that thinking in the country. We need somebody that's not going to allow an Iran deal to be made. We need somebody that's a negotiator. I did write the art of the deal, but forget that. We need somebody that's... Carl Icahn, the great businessman, endorsed me the other day. We need... Carl is a good man. A lot of you know Carl. Great. Many of the people endorsed. They want me to win because they know I'm like really good at this stuff. And we need... And I talk to you this way. I talk to you this way because that's the mentality, whether I'm nice or not. I think I'm nice, actually. But whether I am or not, we've got to take our country back. We've got to turn our country around. We need that kind of thinking, whatever that thinking is. Whatever that thinking is, we need it. We can't give. I mean, our deal, I use it all the time. It's not a financial deal, although you could say it's even financial. But we can't get Sergeant Bergdahl, a dirty, rotten traitor, and give them 5 of the greatest killers on earth that they've been after for 9 years. But that's the deal. So we get Bergdahl, a traitor, and we knew he was a traitor, and 6 people, 6 young, great people were killed going after this bum. 6 people. Now, in the old days, there's my man, stand up. What do we do with Sergeant Bergdahl 50 years ago? That's right. Boom. Boom. A great veteran. Boom. He's gone. He's gone. 6 people killed looking for Bergdahl. And we give 5 people to get him back. And we knew that he was a traitor because they had a general and a colonel go and interview all of the soldiers that he dealt with and that he was with. They said he deserted. So they knew. You know, it's one thing, they made a mistake. But they knew. We can't do things like that anymore. And by the way, on Bergdahl, I see the other day, no time. They don't want to give him any time. They're letting him out. They're not going to not only not shoot him, they let him out. They say, well, he's been through a lot. Oh, yeah, he's been through a lot. 6 young, great people died looking for him. And he's recommended to get nothing. 0. And we can't let that happen anymore. So when I talk about myself, because I've had an amazing life. I mean, I've had a successful life. The Apprentice became one of the great shows on television. I left The Apprentice. I left so much. You know, it's funny. The Apprentice has been so great. Everybody watch The Apprentice, I guess, right? So NBC calls Steve Burke, the head of Comcast, who's a great guy, came up to my office. Please, Donald, do it again. Do it again. Please do it. I say, Steve, I want to run. I want to run. Top people at NBC, top people at Comcast, great people. And Steve is a fantastic guy. And he came, he said, please do it again. They wanted me to do it again. Mark Burnett called me, please do it again. Everybody takes a renewal. You'll be like the only one that didn't take a renewal. Are you crazy? I said, Mark, I really want to run because I think I can do a great job. So when I filed my financial disclosure, you're not going to believe this. I had all these guys, well, he doesn't make much money with the Apprentice. So here's what, certified numbers. I made $213 million doing The Apprentice. Can you believe it? No, think of it. Think of it. $213 million because we got the ads. I owned the show with Mark and the whole thing. $213 million is what I put on my statement. Now these, guys said, they didn't believe it until they saw the number. That's a certified number. One of them on MSNBC used to go, well, he doesn't make any money with The Apprentice. So anyway, so think of it. I made all that money. They want to extend for 28 shows. And I say, no, I'm not going to do it. And that's the least of it. So I give up a lot. You know, these guys, these politicians don't give up anything. They run, they lose, they win, they run, they keep running. That's all they do. They run, they talk. They're nothing. They're nothing. They can't do anything for you. They can't bring us to the promised land. They can't do it. It's not in their genes. I talk about corporate inversions. Companies are leaving our country. They used to leave New York for Florida. They used to leave Massachusetts. Actually, they used to leave, I hate to say, they used to leave for Mexico. They did. That was pretty stupid, I will say. But we wouldn't let that stuff happen. We wouldn't let it happen. But they used to leave. Plenty left New Hampshire. Plenty left, as you know, from Mexico. Plenty left Massachusetts. But now, companies are going to leave our country with thousands and thousands of jobs left behind and abandoned because of our tax code, because of the complexity. There's $2.5 trillion offshore outside of this country. They can't get their money back. Because of the complexity of the code and because of the amount they have to pay, they're leaving it. And they're going to go to the money. And they're going to leave all the jobs. And they're going to get lower taxes. We can't let this happen. And I talk to these guys on the stand, these people on the stand. They don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. They're politicians. They're good at one thing, getting reelected. That's all they're good for. I see these people. I see them. I look at Rubio. He's a lightweight. He's a lightweight. Everyone says, oh, Rubio, he's the next Reagan. He's no Reagan. That I can tell you. No, he's not a Reagan. I don't mind. Hey, he's a young guy. Maybe he'll do well. I mean, my hair is better than his hair. That I can tell you. Sure. And I'm a little older. But no, these people are not going to bring you. They're not going to take us where you want to go. They're not going to do it. They're politicians. All talk, no action, nothing gets done. They're controlled by special interests. It's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. It's time to really bite the bullet and do it right. We got to do it right. We got to do it right. And I want to be tough, and I want to be strong, and I want to do these things, because if we don't do it, we're not going to have a country left. We're just not going to have a country left. Not going to have it. Obamacare, a disaster. No, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Obamacare, premiums are up 35, 45, 55%. Deductibles are through the roof. You don't even get to use it. The deductibles are so high. People are getting killed. And it was all a lie. 28 times you can keep your doctor, keep your plan, everything's wonderful. Even the Democrats were lied to because they would have never approved it. But the president kept saying, great, everything you can have. And yet they don't have to use it. The politicians in Washington don't have to use it because they don't want it because it's no good. We are going to repeal it, and we're going to replace it with something great. With something great. So sad. So sad. When you look at it, when you see that. Remember the website? Everyone forgets it now. You know, the one problem in politics, it's got like a 2-week life. Everybody forgets how bad. Remember the website? $5 billion website that didn't work? It still doesn't work. A $5 billion website. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. I would have gotten Microsoft. I would have gotten somebody. I would have gotten Yahoo. I would have gotten I could have gotten 10 different companies that are the best in the world. They would have done it for nothing. They would have been so honored to do it. We spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars doing a website that doesn't work. And everybody now forgets it. Obamacare has to be repealed. You know, in 2017, it's going to cost our country an absolute fortune. It's going to be useless as far as you're concerned. The deductibles will be so high, you're not going to be able to use it. And the cost is going to be prohibitive. So they're already saying they have to go back to Congress in 2017 to redo it, to change it. We're going to get rid of it. We're going to get something good. You know who made the money with Obamacare? Other than the fact that the people that designed the websites were very close to you know who, right? You know that. But you know who made the money with Obamacare? The insurance companies. They gave a tremendous amount of money to Obama. The insurance companies have made a fortune with Obamacare. Take a look at them. Take a look at these insurance companies. They're raking in billions of dollars with Obamacare, and nobody even knows it. So we're going to get rid of it. We're going to come up with a plan that's so good. There's so many ideas, so many plans, and it's going to be good. And you're going to have your doctor, and you're going to have your plan. You're going to have what you want. So the other day, I was watching the Democrat. It's actually the Democrat debate. You know, they call it the Democratic debate because it sounds better. It's not really it's called the Democrat debate. And I watched Hillary, who doesn't have the strength or the stamina to be president. I can tell you, doesn't have this. No, doesn't have it. She doesn't have the strength or the stamina. We need very strong right now. She's exhausted, folks. She's exhausted. In fact, I think if she pulls it off, I think her greatest achievement ever will be getting out of the email scandal. I think that'll be her greatest achievement. And I think she will do it because I think she's being totally protected by the Democrats. They've destroyed General Petraeus. They put other people in jail for doing 5% of what she did. And I think that she's going to get a free pass. I think the Democrats are protecting her because they think you can't vote for Bernie. Did you hear that? The Paris attacks were caused by, did you hear this one? The Paris attacks were caused, according to Bernie Sanders, they were caused by global warming. And the other guy, he shouldn't even be on the stage. He was the mayor of Baltimore. He did a great job, okay? So we have issues. We have 93 million people out of the labor force. Think of it. When you hear 5.2%, forget it. When you add the real numbers, you probably have a 25% unemployment. And I'll tell you, this place is packed. People are still coming in. Oh, those poor people, they're gonna be so angry when I finish and they're still coming in. Ay, ay, ay. People, can you believe people are still coming in? Let's give them a hand. Give those people a hand. We love those people. They're going to say, how did Mr. Trump do tonight? How was the speech? They're going to say, I don't know. We never got in. So we have 93 million people out of the labor force. We have 50 million people in poverty. We have 43 million, and now it's actually going to be probably closer to 50 million people on food stamps. And I'll tell you what, if we had a real, hello, You know, it's amazing. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy. He went crazy. Amazing. Amazing. That's an amazing sight. You know the bad part? Here's the bad thing. So we had 3 little protests. Each person, I think it was one over there, one over here, one over there, right? So we had 3 people tonight. 3, right? 3 people. So we had 3 people, and the press will say, protests at Trump. We didn't have it. We have 12,000 people, and they're going to take 12,000 people still coming in, and they're going to take 3 people, these people. They're going to take 3 people and say, oh, the protests were unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, it's like Saturday Night Live. Anybody see Saturday Night Live? Yeah. It was good. Well, I heard about the protests. And I said, oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. So I had sent one of my guys out, and I heard every newscast, there will be major protests tonight in front of NBC at Rockefeller Center. The protests will be unbelievable. I said, you know, we better go in through a side door. This is going to be rough tonight. This is going to be rough. So we looked, and there were like 20 people outside. I sent my guy. I said, go check it again. You must be wrong. Comes back. He said 21 people total. He found one. Then just before I went on, I said, go check it again. There was nobody. You know why? They went home to watch Saturday Night Live. Is it crazy? Crazy. But the press was reporting massive protests against Trump. It's really horrible. It's really, really horrible. Really dishonest. And honestly, you're talking about 3 people. 1, 2, 3, right? 3 people. They weren't even in a group, because who the hell wants to be with a guy like that to be in a group? Seriously. Who wants to be with him? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody will have him. Nobody. But, so tomorrow when you go home, or tonight when you watch your broadcast, you're going to hear about protests. You're going to hear that there were protesters outside. I didn't see any. I saw thousands of people trying to come in. Thousands. That line, I never saw. That line was 4 blocks long. 5 deep. But you're going to hear about protests. And just remember what I said. It's all a big lie. It's a big lie. It's a terrible, terrible lie. It's a terrible, terrible lie. So I just want to close by saying, very shortly, you're fired. I just want to close by saying, look, I've given up a lot to do this. I've given up a tremendous amount. I've given up a lot of deals and economics and shows and a lot of other things. But what I want to say is, we're going to win if I get elected. We're going to win on trade. We're going to win with ISIS, and boy, are we going to win with them, and we're going to do it fast. We're going to win with our military. We're going to take care of our veterans. We're going to take care of our veterans. We're going to do great with our health care. It's going to be the finest in the land, the finest. And I can only say this, you have to remember this night. You are going to have something special. We are going to bring back our country. I used to say the silent majority. It's not the silent majority. It used to be the silent majority. This is a very, very vocal majority. You have to keep it going. But we are going to have victory. We're going to have victories economically. We're going to have victories on trade. We're going to put our people back to work. We're not going to let other countries steal our jobs. It's not going to happen anymore. We're going to have great health care. The American dream is dead, but we're going to make it bigger and better and stronger than ever, ever, ever before. And we're going to make America great again. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I love you very much. Thank you.